Hello, everyone in the Gene Keys global community. I wanted to invite you all to the Venus retreat that's taking place in Bulgaria from the 25th to the 29th of September. And I've had a number of really deep breakthroughs in regard to the Venus sequence. And I want to share a little bit with you by using my own profile so that you can get a sense of it. As some of you probably know, the core, the SQ, the attractor, and the purpose, these are all unconscious places within us. So what I really discovered about in my own journey is that this IQ, EQ is really a magical trigger into really fulfilling our higher purpose in life. Because that IQ, EQ is really the place where we defend ourselves. We defend ourselves against the pain of our early childhood. And because it's conscious, it's very available to us. So, you know, part of what I'm going to be doing in this next Venus retreat is actually making a connection between this IQ, EQ, what Richard calls the defense or the dance, and your past, you know, and all the pain in your past. And it's been my experience that when you actually, instead of looking at the profile first and trying to fit the profile into your life, so to speak, if you actually look at your life first and look at the painful pattern, right? So in my case, you know, if you look at my EQ, which is really the pain, you know, it's the core root of the pain of when we were young, you know, between 7 and 14, when we were first developing our own emotional independence from our parents. And that line there, it tells you a lot about what need you really didn't get met when you were young, right? And so for me, that's all about freedom. It's all about, you know, wanting to feel free. You know, the second line is about feeling free, right? So if you look at the gene key, there is stress, right? So whenever I was in a relationship, I look back in my past, you know, and whenever there was stress in the relationship, that stress would always trigger that feeling inside of me that I wasn't free. And then I could go into what the mind does, but I think it's really important just to focus in on the pain, right? So when you start to make that connection, when you start to see that you've projected your lack of freedom onto the shadow of that gene key, I'll say that again. When you've projected onto that shadow of that gene key that's your lack of freedom, then that will create a whole dance for you. It will create, and it will also open up a lot of really deep things inside of you. So this is just a taste of some of the things that I want to share with you. But it's been my experience that that IQ, EQ is such an important place, and because it's conscious, you know, it's the position of Venus and Mars when we were, you know, when we were born. So it's very conscious to us. That pattern is so familiar and it's so conscious. And once you start to unwind that pattern, it's been my experience that the whole of the profile starts to really open up. Of course, the evolution is part of that as well, but we're really talking about the emotional freedom that we all long for. That's basically, you know, we're claiming back our own deep independence, our own deep authority, and it's quite a journey, you know, it really is. So I encourage all of you to join us. There's limited space. We already have people coming from America and different countries, and of course it's going to be taught in English. And it's in the beautiful nature of Bulgaria. So there's a deep invitation from me to all of you. I promise you it won't be like any Venus sequence you've ever attended before. It will be something truly transformational. And I'm also going to be involving touch on the body, you know, very gentle touch, very supportive touch, especially when we're working with the SQ. And also we're going to be doing daily Qigong exercises to really get us into the body. And that will be happening in the morning in the mountains. So I really invite you to join me and the Gene Keys Bulgaria team. It's going to be an extraordinary event. I'm very sure of that. As I said, I've been through a really deep journey, still am, you know, with my Venus sequence. So I'd love to share with you all my latest insights. And I think you'll find it very, very practical and very supportive on your own journey. Lots of love. Take care.